Hey everyone, my name is Sophie from Sophisticated Organization. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today's video is a collaboration with a few other creators that are focused on home organization and home management who are involved in this year's Get Organized HQ virtual conference that happens in September. Registration is live right now. If you're interested, I will put all of the information in the description box below if you would like to attend virtually. I'm participating in the conference this year. A few other YouTubers that you might recognize, or other people that are kind of in the home organization space if that's what you're interested. So you might see some friendly faces, and it is going to be a great event. So to get us really excited and all ready to go for the event in September, a bunch of us are sharing 3 of our favorite home organization tips. So that's what I'm sharing with you guys today, and I actually wanted to talk about where to start. A lot of times I get questions about organizing and just feeling overwhelmed and not exactly knowing where to begin this whole daunting process. So today I wanted to share with you my top 3 tips on how to get started organizing. So if you're ready for it, let's jump right into the video. The first tip for anybody who clicked on this video who feels like this is a process where it's extremely overwhelming and you don't know where to start is to take this at your own pace. By all means, if you are ready to hit the ground running, hit the ground running and get it done as fast as possible. That is great. But if you are feeling like this is a lot to take on and you don't know where to start, take it slow. You're in no rush. No one gets a gold medal for finishing first. This is about doing it right rather than doing it fast. What I find really helpful is to create a schedule or even a goal for myself of how and when I want to get all of the spaces done in my home. So for me personally, I really like going room by room. Some people like going category by category. I would suggest that you go room by room. It can get pretty chaotic if you go category by category because you're in every room all at once. You're pulling different things from different rooms and you don't really have that sense of accomplishment of you're finishing one full space at a time. It's just because everything's being torn apart all at the same time. So if you are taking it slower and you have spaces that you're making worse before they get better, that can be really difficult to take it slow, especially if you have other people in the house that are like, why is everything look like a tornado ran through it? I'm telling you, room by room is going to be easier if you're going the slower method. But really either way, if you go category by category or room by room, you're going to want to create some sort of a schedule. So if you have been following me for a while, you know that at the beginning of this year, we did the 6-month sophisticated declutter, and we went through our entire homes together and took 6 whole months to do it. So I was not in a rush at all, and I had a full schedule at the beginning of the year for the rooms that we were going to work through, and then within each room the different categories and things that you should be decluttering in each room. So some rooms I gave us a full month to do, other rooms they took a little bit less time, other spaces took even longer. So creating that schedule for yourself that you know is going to work with your needs is really going to be helpful, and it doesn't have to be super rigid either. It can be something that is more like, I want to spend 15 minutes every day decluttering and organizing and working towards my goal, and here's kind of the flow of the house that I want to work through. That works great for somebody who's really busy and just has a little bit of time to dedicate every day. You can also do it the way like I did with the sophisticated declutter and say, okay, this month I'm doing my bedroom, and week 1 of this month I'm gonna attack my nightstands, and week 2 I'm gonna do my dresser, and week 3 and so on. Things like that. But sit down, get a pen and paper out, just kind of brainstorm, walk through your house, maybe have a clipboard with you, but create that schedule and system that's going to work for you and goals that are actually attainable. Next up is to follow a process. As I'm sure you can tell from my first tip, I like when things are as orderly as possible. When you're starting room by room and you create this process that you do within each room and then within each space of every room, it's gonna get repetitive and get ingrained in your brain, and it's gonna make it so much easier as you move along throughout your house and you get even better at this organizing process because you keep doing it over and over again. It's gonna become second nature. The process that I really like to follow is to sort first. Whatever space or whatever room you're in, you're going to try and put all of the like items in the same categories together. That way it's a lot easier to see what you have, how many of each item you have. Some methods will tell you that the first step is decluttering. I don't love that because I think it makes more sense, at least in my brain, to pull all of the items together and understand how many items you have in a category, because that might affect how much you want to declutter. If you get rid of something and you have only one other of it, you might have wanted to keep it, or vice versa. If you choose not to get rid of something and you were to pull all of those items together and you realize you have 20 of that item and you might have been willing to part with it because you don't need 20 of whatever that item is. Let's say it's scissors. You don't need 20 scissors. I think it makes more sense to pull the category together first, and then step 2 within the process would be that decluttering. And there are so many different techniques that you can use when it comes to decluttering, but it depends on the space, it depends on you, and I have a whole bunch of other videos on decluttering techniques. You might want to work through my sophisticated declutter as well and look at the space by space tips that I share with you. I will link that in the cards above as well as in the description box if you're interested in more of my thoughts on decluttering and all of that. So once you've finished with your sorting by categories, you've gone through your decluttering process, and now you have all of the items you truly love and want to keep, that's when I like to create a vision for my space. So start at the furniture level and then work into the areas of the room, and then either drawers or cabinets, and create this vision of how you want the flow of the room to go. I am not a fan of junk drawers. I don't believe in junk drawers. I don't think anybody should have a junk drawer in their house. I like that phrase, a place for everything and everything in its place. If you have miscellaneous items, they still have to be kind of connected to something. So I don't have any drawers anywhere in my house that have no purpose whatsoever. And if the purpose is a miscellaneous utility drawer, that's fine, but I just don't like the title of a junk drawer. So you shouldn't have anything in your house that is junk, because we've already gone through the decluttering process and it's all things that we love and want to keep and therefore should not be junk. I like the example of thinking about my kitchen when I'm working through the vision that I want. I like to keep things where they belong, make it really handy. I like to keep my mugs next to my coffee maker and my coffee also there, and make this little coffee station so it all makes sense in my head, and think through that vision. And once I have that vision, that's step 3, then step 4, I'm gonna go in and start organizing. So you should not have purchased any organizing products before you get to step 4. You shouldn't have done anything rearranging and putting things back in drawers or cabinets or anything like that, because you wanna work through those first steps, have your vision in place, then start figuring out how you want to make that vision a reality. And maybe it's with organizing products, maybe it's just rearranging things. That is completely up to you. Again, I have tons of other organizational inspiration on my Instagram and on my YouTube if you want help with a certain space and getting some ideas for how to organize that area. Tip 3, for any of you that are sitting here wondering, how the heck do I start? This feels like a process that I'm never going to accomplish. Even if you live in an apartment like I do right now, it can still feel like a lot to take on. But the biggest tip here is to stand up and just get started. It sounds silly, but I am not joking. I want you, when you are done with this video, to stand up and go start organizing. You just have to get off your bum and go. And if you're thinking, I would love to stand up and just start organizing, but I don't know where to start, you've told me that I need to take it slow and go room by room, but where do I actually start? Think of the biggest pain point or pain points you might have in your life. That is a great place to start. And if that feels like something that's too much for you to take on right now, that's completely fine. Pick the easiest place. I think the bedroom is typically an easier place to start and has a really high impact when you have it organized. That's where you sleep. You want to have it as minimal as possible to create a calm, clean bedroom environment. So when in doubt, bedroom is a great place to start. But if you have a pain point that you can identify and that is a space that you think you can tackle first, go for it. The other thing that can be really motivating with this just stand up and get started is to set a timer. So give yourself 15 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe even an hour if you're feeling super ambitious and you have the time right now. Set that timer and get going. Play some music, maybe a podcast, whatever motivates you, but stand up and get started. So this video was pretty quick today. Again, just top 3 tips on how to get started organizing, make it a little less overwhelming and a little bit more manageable. Again, don't forget to check the description box below for the full playlist of all of the other accounts that are creating their top 3 home organization tips, as well as all of the other information on how to get registered and all about Get Organized HQ and our virtual conference this year. If you guys are new here, I would love if you subscribe to my channel, gave this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and until next time, I will see you guys later.